Jenny is a very famous lawyer who specializes in cases of minors and wants to protect them in this way. Not long ago, she received a case of a girl being bullied. She was very confident of winning this lawsuit and wanted the girl to be able to take the stand and accuse the murderer. Before the trial, the opposing lawyer but the victim of language insults. The girl just experienced injury. Again mention it has been to gather all the courage. She left in anger under the opposing lawyer's humiliation. Jenny could only run over to comfort her. The first lawsuit was lost in this way. Jenny is not so easy to give up. Back to the office, her boss approached her, hoping that she can give up the lawsuit. But Jenny clearly said that the victory belongs to them. In order to do a good job, she even brought the work to the home, which also caused her husband David's dissatisfaction. But he could not stop his wife's decision. After a few days, David picked up his son Jack from his ex-wife, a rebellious teenager who turned into a bad boy because of the lack of care since childhood. To compensate for his son, David took him over to live with him. At first, they got along very well, and his twin sister seemed to like the older brother in particular. Jack is still a bit rebellious, but it's all within Jenny's tolerance. She and David hadn't been intimate for a long time because of work pressure and childcare. In the evening she reaches out to David for comfort, but David turns her down because of work. Jenny is upset but has to go to bed. The next day when she came home from work, she saw an unexpected scene. The woman returned home to find the glass on the wall was smashed. The family's valuable jewelry is also lost. She counted the items and began to clean up the mess of everything, washing clothes, but she found the missing items in Jack's pocket. So she waited until Jack came back to talk to him. She gave Jack two choices. One is honestly at home, get along well with his family. The second is now call the police and send him to the police station. For such a choice, of course, he chose the former. In the evening Jenny also did not say anything to her husband about the incident, as if it did not happen. When she again wanted to communicate further, but was refused by David. The next day Jenny took Jack and her daughter to the park. She was very happy to see them happy, but she looked at Jack's eyes, hiding a different kind of smell. David invited his friends to a party at his house, and Jenny put on a sexy dress and danced next to him. She wanted to invite David to join her, but David was only interested in talking to his colleagues about work, not his wife's feelings. Jenny was so angry that she ran out into the yard, just as this scene was seen by Jack, who then invited her to the bar for a drink, to which Jenny readily agreed. The two of them chatted over drinks and Jenny suddenly asked about the girl Jack had brought home that day, and was relieved to learn that it was just a friend. The next day, she took Jack and his daughter to the river to play. Jack invited her to go into the water with him. He originally just a casual remark, but did not expect Jenny really jumped in. The two of them had a great time in the water, which made her experience the feeling of youth. So her feelings towards Jack changed, and she no longer treated him as a child. That night occurred at the beginning of the scene. After that, their entertainment is not limited to the room. The living room, kitchen, the corridor window have become the location of their entertainment, and even feel not exciting enough to run outside to the grove. Once David came home early from work. The daughter was downstairs watching TV. David asked his mother where she went. From his daughter's mouth, he learned that his son and wife were upstairs. David, who heard the commotion, went upstairs to check. However, Jenny found him in advance. Before he went upstairs, she cleaned herself up, pretending that nothing had happened, and David did not notice anything. Then the twin daughter's birthday came, and the family held a party inside the garden. The stepmother and her son made out in the corner, but was discovered by the stepmother's sister, who could not accept it inside and left immediately. But she did not tell David. After this incident, Jenny thought of breaking off the relationship with Jack, but Jack did not understand why. Perhaps feeling neglectful of his son, David proposed to take Jack on a father-son trip. In the process, Jack feels fatherly love, and he tells his father everything out of guilt. David returns home to confront his wife, but she says that Jack is a delinquent boy. How can he believe what he says? And use this to cry that David does not believe her. David surprisingly listened to her words and sent Jack to a closed school. Jack makes multiple attempts to get his father to believe him, but all in vain. On Christmas night, Jack comes to the house for the last time and asks Jenny to let him see his father, but is ruthlessly refused. A few days later, the police brought the news of Jack's suicide, from which David learned everything. This movie changed the perspective to us to explain what is human nature. Justice lawyers cannot hide from the trend of desire. People in front of the interests of desire can never maintain a moral balance. The ending is even more thought-provoking. In this world, perhaps not all secrets will surface, but people will definitely pay for mistakes.